All praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai Ba'ashem HaKadosh. All right, this is Proverbs chapter 22 and 4. By humility and the fear of the Lord are riches and honor and life. Right, so as we see and examine the scripture, it takes a form of humility to get the true understanding of the word of the Lord. All right, a lot of people, they read the Bible. All right, they pray for understanding, they pray for wisdom, they pray for particular things, but they don't get it. All right, because the scriptures tell you that the Most High chastens who he loves. And through chastening, just like if you were a child growing up within your parents' home, you did particular things that wasn't pleasing to your parents and was out of line. And they beat you, they disciplined you. And that humbled you. It made you cry, right? It made you bow down. It made you hurt. All right, you felt the pain, but you learned the lesson and you gained the lesson and you knew not to do those things anymore, which is basically wisdom, because wisdom and understanding go hand in hand. Okay. So it says by humility and the fear of the Lord. All right. So when we come into this knowledge, all right, we learn. All right. Scriptures tell you, it says, the more greater thou art, the more humble thyself. Okay. Because when you come in, you learn. The scripture also too I'm thinking about is that knowledge puffeth up. So when you first come in, you first get the knowledge, you feel good about yourself. You feel, you get a level of confidence. All right. But the trials and tribulations start to come. Okay. Just like it mentions in Matthew, the 13th chapter. Okay. About the seed that fell on thorns, the seed that fell on stony ground. All right. One of them it talks about because of the cares of the world. Okay. Also too, because affliction arose. Okay. When affliction arises, not everybody is able to withstand through that. So therefore they don't get the riches, they don't get the understanding. But those that are able to humble themselves and be humiliated within persecution, within whatever tribulation that Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahshua put you through, then you come out greater on the other side. Okay? You come out with more understanding. And that's what the point of this video ultimately is to show you how you truly get the understanding. You don't really get understanding just from reading. You don't really get the bulk of understanding or the true form of understanding in which Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahshua was to fill you with until you get humiliated, until you get jacked up. All right? And that's why we have the apostles, the bishops, all right, the elders of Great Millstone that are guiding the flock in the manner in which they are, because they have been through the humiliation. Okay? Which show forth that they're sown in good ground, that they are the precious stones and not wood and not hay, not stubble. Because the fire is tested, the fire comes through everybody. All right, when you go to Sirach, the 2nd chapter, when you come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for tempt. Matter of fact, let me get that. I'm gonna get it. Sirach 2:1. My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation. Right, set thy heart aright and constantly endure, and make not haste in the time of trouble. Cleave unto him and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at thy last end. And whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully and be patient when thou art changed to a lower state. For gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity. Okay? And we can go on and on. But the point of the matter is that that's going to come. The furnace of adversity is going to come. We're all going to be tried. We are all being tried. Okay? Now you have men that are being tried or that get tried and they fall out of the way of understanding. Now they're in the congregation of the dead. They're no longer amongst the lively stones. They're no longer a part of the building of the temple of the Lord. Okay? Another one I had was Sirach chapter 6 and verse 33. Well, I'm starting verse 32. My son, if thou wilt, thou shalt be taught. Right. If you're willing to be taught, then the Most High is going to teach you. And it's going to be through men. Okay? And if thou wilt apply thy mind, thou shalt be prudent. Meaning, if you set your focus on the main goal at hand, then the Most High will give you foresight. Okay? Verse 33. If thou love to hear, thou shalt receive understanding. And if thou bow thine ear, thou shalt be wise. Because bowing your ear is a step of humility. Okay? When the Most High humbles you, he puts you into a yoke of submission to where you're trying to figure out and trying to catch every clue and gather all the details to get out of that circumstance. That's why the scriptures tell you, it says, a just man falleth 7 times and get it back up. But the wicked falleth into mischief. Okay? Why does the wicked fall into mischief? Because they don't want to get back up. They don't want to go through the humility. All right? So therefore, the Most High is not going to reward them. Okay? That's the only way we're going to get through this trials. And that's the only way we're going to be able to get through Jacob's trouble, through humiliation, through being humbled in the sight of men, in the sight of your family, furthermore, in the sight of the Lord. Okay? We didn't come into the truth to look good in the world. And that's what you got these false prophets doing. Setting up their own universities, their own schooling system, basically coming up some other way. Setting forth, they're the leaders of the crooked path. Okay? We're supposed to come through the straight gate, man. They're the leaders of the broad gate. Okay? The broad gate, you look good. All right? The straight gate, you look foolish. But those that have the understanding understand that that's a part of the plan. So we're willing to go through it because we have faith that there's going to be a reward on the other side. Okay? Got some more scriptures real quick. This is Luke chapter 14 and 11. For whosoever exalteth himself shall be abased. Right? So all them dudes that chose the wide gate, all right, the broad gate, they're gonna be abased. And how are they gonna be abased? By thermonuclear destruction, by the guillotine, all right, by the Assyrian, okay, by the Most High's whipping stick, okay, Esau Edom. And he that humbleth himself shall be exalted. And the exaltation is going to show that those individuals that were speaking the right things and doing the right things and walking that straight gate, they're the ones that's going to be delivered. Okay? It's about getting through tough times, man. All right? What's the point of having the God of heaven and earth and then you don't have no trials and tribulations to show that you have that power on your side? That doesn't add up. So the trials and tribulations we should be taking head on because guess what? Guess who put it there? Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. And guess who's going to get you out of it? Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Okay? One last scripture. 1 Peter chapter 5 and verse 6. Humble yourselves, therefore, under the mighty hand of the Most High, that he may exalt you in due time. Cast all your care upon him, for he careth for you. All right? And that's the point. Like the scripture said, humble yourselves, therefore, under the mighty hand of the Most High. All right? Be willing to go through the humiliation. Be willing to go through whatever trial and tribulation that come your way. Okay? And guess what? The Most High is going to show forth that you were one of his. That you was in his hand the whole time when everyone else denied. When everyone else counted you out. All right? And I'm going to close on that, man. Call Lord Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Dash. Double honors to the apostles, the bishops, and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to the elect.